Looks like it's the usual crew. All right, where's Wainwright? I can do that, Victor. I totally forgot. You just want to see me trying to use that stupid tablet pad thingy again, where I couldn't draw anything. If I don't put it up, make sure that you text me or message me or something. Because those that have me know, I forget everything. Let me text Wainwright. Zoom time.
Sharky,
What?
can we skip the pre-test?
Yeah, I don't care. We don't grade it. We don't even have access to them. We don't see them, nothing.
Okay.
We wouldn't even know if you did it or if you didn't do it.
Seriously?
Seriously, we have no clue.
Okay.
Let me check the Zoom schedule because I think we're almost done. We don't have much left. Oops, that's not the Zoom schedule. All right, so we have, okay, so Monday I cover 6-2 and 6-3. Tuesday is going to be that big project. Basically, if you show up, you're going to get 100. We have room for
Day?
that one's on Tuesday
Okay.
for 606, and it's honestly going to be a good time for you guys to socialize and say hello to everybody. So we have a space for 100 people. After that, they have to do the work. Then the 18th and 19th are our last two Zooms. And we'll be done. So you only have 2 more weeks of Zooms with me. 2 more weeks of Miss Sharkey trying to figure out technology. That's it, Noah. Get that teacup going. It'll be recorded. He can watch it later. Just remind me if I don't send it out. All right. No Wainwright today. He's at grandma's. All right. So statistics. Now, you guys have already been taught statistics in, I think it was in 7th advanced and part of 6th grade. So this should all be familiar. And I know for a fact it's covered in 6th grade because when I taught 6th grade, this was the unit that I said will make me never teach 6th grade again. So histograms, think more histograms is like chunks of something, where a dot plot is one actual thing. So when I explain it is when we talk about graphs and we have continuous graphs, that's the same idea with histograms. And dot plot is more like just a point. Like on a graph, it's not the line, it's the dot. Exactly like it says dot plot. So that's the big difference, and they will get you on that in here because they ask some pretty stupid questions. So let's go over some information. We're going to start off talking about dot plots. The first thing they want you to know is if you have a set of data, 1, 2, 3, okay, and then they give you a dot plot, and it doesn't matter if they have dots or X's, it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you tell out of this which number has the wrong number of X's on top of it? So take a look real quick.
3. Oh no, not 3.
Yeah, because 3 has
2.
2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, 2, I could only find 1. So that means 2 is wrong. So in order for 2 to be right, we take one of the X's away. And now this would have been correct. Does that make sense? It should.
Is that all that it is? Like, that's actually really easy.
Yeah, that's like really question number 1. Just some of them have different numbers. I recommend, honestly, those of you that have whiteboard markers, especially if you have a school computer, those of you that have me, you know, you can write on them and you just like cross it off as you find it and match it up, or you reorder everything so that you can see how many 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, or 5s you have so that you don't get confused. So that's probably the easiest thing they're going to have you do. So then the next thing they're going to have you do is they're going to give you a table of data. And nobody really cares what the data is about. We'll just say X, Y, Z, M. 3, 2, 4, 1. So then just be able to create your own dot plot with what you see or match it to one that goes correctly. So if this is, say, X, Y, Z, M, you just know with X, you're going to put 3 dots. Y, you put 2. Z, you put 4. M, you put 1. They're not asking you to do anything more than doing that with the dot plot. Usually when we teach it in class, we create the table. Like you'll do, like one of the activities we would have done would have been flipping a coin. How many times does it land heads, tails? And then you do it with 2 coins. How many times is it heads, 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 tails, tails, heads, and then tails, tails? And then you would plot it all that on here. Does that make sense? So far, it seems to. You guys are pretty good if you don't get it to say something. Then they go into histograms. Histograms to me sometimes can be the more confusing ones to look at because you are chunking your data. And understanding how to chunk your data is the hardest part. So if you pick an entire like chunk, it has to be the same. So if I go from 0 to say 19, then the next one has to be 20 to 39. Then after that, the next set of data has to be 40 to 59. And then that's a 9. And then after that, say 60 to 79, and then keep going. You have 80 to 99. And then you'd keep going and going however long you need. And then let's say that's ages, because that looks like ages. Let's say how many people are in Walmart. Because you know we can get some pretty big numbers with that. Walmart. So if they surveyed everybody that was in Walmart at that time, they could say, let's count by tens because it's easy. And we have, let's say 10 children between the ages of 0 to 19. Let's say 20. It doesn't look like 20. There we go. 20 between 20 and 39. Notice how they both touch. And then let's just say 50 for us old people in that category. That's Miss Sharkey. I'm in here. And then let's just say it's later in the day, so we don't have a whole lot of 60 to 79. and it's Walmart in Florida, so we're going to go with a lot of 80 to 99. Okay? Then what they're going to want you to do is interpret the data. So if I look at the number of people, I can see that there are twice as many. That's not how you spell twice. Between 20 to 39 as 0 to 19. But then I turn around and look from 40 to 59, there's 5 times as many. Does everybody see how we got those numbers? You guys are like on mute today or something. I'm gonna unmute all of you, hear what you guys are talking about. Unmute all. Let's see who's snoozing. Really, nothing? Look at all you muting yourselves again. You guys crack me up. I'm waiting to hear if Michael's snoring and sleeping. I think Michael fell asleep.
No, I didn't.
I unmuted you. We heard all that snoring.
I wasn't.
Do you get this? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is actually probably one of the easier things. It's just understanding what they're asking. You guys crack me up. What am I going to do without you guys after we're done? All right. So next question. Okay. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to give you information and they're going to ask you, should I use a histogram or a dot plot? So anytime you have that grouping, so like anytime I can do 0 to 1, say 2 to 3, 4 to 5, anytime you can do this, you're going to go histogram. Okay, and it's always because it's a range. So we have a range of data, use histogram. If I do not have a range, so if it's like individual, so 1, 2, 3, anything like this, that I would have to do like that, that will always be a dot plot when data is individual. So if you went to the dog park and you wanted to see how many dogs were at the park, if you were saying just for that time and just for like individual breeds, so let's say we're looking at either golden retrievers, Jack Russells, what they are at the dog park right now, you would do dot plot. But if you wanted to see how many dogs were at the dog park, say every hour, just looking at general dogs, say between 8 and 9, 9 and 10, then I would use the histogram. Hopefully that makes some sense. One more thing. So make sure you do go through this lesson because there was a couple things that they go over new maybe for you guys. But the big thing is reviewing how to know if it's statistical or not. So in order to know if it's statistical, I wonder if I could take a picture. No. So to know if something is statistical, it has a question that can be answered by data. So question answered by data. It's never like a yes, no question. 2, you would design and implement a plan that collects the data. So like I said, you go to the dog park and you're counting all those dogs. That is where you have to have a plan of what you're going to do and collect data. So you have to be able to collect data. And for those that want to know, this is page 2 of slides for the course. And let's see, 3, you are going to have to analyze it using a graph or numerical method. So you would analyze, and definitely know how we spell analyze. using graph. So even using the histogram or the dot plot, those are considered graphs or numerical. Methods, okay? Number 4, the final way is you're going to interpret the data in relation to the original question. So you're just basically going to do a simple interpretation using data. Using data. So as long as you can meet those criteria, it's statistical. And you do not do something like, they have a burger at McDonald's. That's not statistical. Or just saying like, how many dogs are out there? That's not a real statistical thing. Or where do the dogs play? Or, I don't know, what's the number 1 song on the radio? Those are all not statistical things. Does that make sense? Yes. Sharky will say yes. All right. Does anybody have questions? I think you all checked out on me.
I'm still here.
All right.
Yes, I'm still here. I already did this stuff.
Jack, I
I'm
think
here
you're
too.
here to see what I do.
What?
I think you're just here to laugh at the fact that I can never get the technology to work.
Well, yeah, that and my mom told me to join, and my dad. They're like, "Yeah, you need to join." And I'm like, "Okay."
If nothing
But
else, if nothing else, you guys could turn on your screens and actually talk to each other too.
I already talked to Michael and Wesley. On the phone.
Jay and Wes.
And I know Miss Wainwright saw Michael the other day walking.
Why are
No, I
those
was on a
four
bike
people
and I told
there?
her about how you were telling Jackson to get on the Zoom.
Yep. I also
Why don't
told
we like
her
four
how you
people?
fell asleep.
Because I think she's done.
Oh, I didn't say that.
I told her. Oh, we are
Oh, you
done.
did?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're done.
All right, thanks, Sharky.